A very warm good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Evening Review Show. I'm your host, Matthias Haufiko. Well, tonight we're joined in studio by Mr. Iyambo Onesmus. He's the chairperson of the Affirmative Repositioning Student Command. Sir, welcome and good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Matthias, and thank you for having me.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Yeah,
well, not so long ago, you and your team issued a very strong-worded statement against the University of Namibia, in which you feel that the university unfairly treated you as an institution after you've planned to have your opening ceremony, I believe, was it on the 26th of April, on campus, and you were at the last minute informed that the venue that you had booked is no longer available. Why did you feel that there's something amiss about that? I mean, maybe the institution was genuine about that.
Yeah, no, well, thank you, Matthias. No, we took offense, or we took issue with the university, because the notice that we received was only given to us on Friday morning. I mean, of course, the letter is indicating it was written on the 25th or on Thursday, but we only received the letter on Monday. I mean, sorry, on Friday morning, the day of the event. And it's stating that apparently the venue is no longer available after we have booked it. But of course, we know that that's just a pure lie. It's just one of the plans to harass us and intimidate us and prevent us from hosting our activity. That's why we felt that we need to condemn these tactics, so that they are not seen or heard within the university. Yeah.
So, why, in your view, would the university have a reason to unfairly treat you or to discriminate you in this regard? Yeah,
I think it has to do with our society's ideological standing and outlook, amongst other societies on the university. Our affiliation, I believe, to the AR movement. Maybe that's why we are being now victimized by the university's authorities. Yeah. Okay.
So, how is it with? I'm sure students and the societies you speak amongst each other, other like-minded societies. What are they going? Are they going through the same experiences you are going through?
Well, of course, only some, not all the societies. The interesting thing is here that on the 25th of April, on Thursday, the SPYL, they have their branch also there. They hosted their, they put it up their banner. They were recruiting students at the university. They were never blocked, they were never stopped or something like that. But the next day, when it was our event, when we were supposed to host almost the similar issue, we were blocked. So you can already see that it's not fair treatment for all the societies. It's only some that are being allowed to do certain things, and some are not allowed to do certain things.
But before issuing the statement that the team issued, have you engaged the leadership of the university to get more information regarding this last-minute cancellation, seeing that you feel hard done by this decision?
Yeah, well, because as I said, I received this letter just Friday in the morning. But before that, on Thursday in the evening, I was just on campus, just catching up with my assignments. I received a call around 7 o'clock, a telephone call from Mr. Shatipamba. He's the Assistant Director of Student Services, telling me that, no, Mr. Iyambo, we are informing you that your event, which is supposed to take place tomorrow, cannot proceed forward because the university sees to it that you don't qualify to host such type of event on campus. So I informed him, no, I will come to your office tomorrow, so that you engage me more about what you are submitting to me here, because I'm not understanding what you are telling me here. So I went to his office on Friday to engage and find out what was the issue. He has to tell me that no, I had done that because we received an internal memo from the PVC of Administration and Finance, apparently on hosting of political events or activities at the university. Apparently a decision was taken that societies or political organization should not have their events within the premises of the university. So we've tried to engage them, of course. In fact, we have even written a letter to them. I have the letter here. We have written back to say, all this what you are submitting here is unconstitutional. I mean, the Constitution permits students to participate in political discourses. If you just go around the world, universities, well-known universities, permits different political formations to practice their activities within the university. So we really find it problematic with the university, but we are going to petition. We are currently just working out our groundswell. We are going to petition this so-called memorandum and see to it how they will respond to it.
But what is your view to those who say that perhaps the university is just trying to protect the integrity of the institution for it not to become a political battleground and rather remain an academic battleground?
But no. I think it's a lame argument. As I said, universities across the world, well-performing universities, well-known performing universities, are allowing different political formations to host their activity. But of course, again, there are procedures. Even if I'm to host my activities, there are procedures that I must follow, so that the university sees to it that I don't maybe somehow use students for my personal interest and things like that. So there are procedures that are already there, and we have followed those procedures. And I don't think if we have followed the procedures, we will then maybe come in to say, no, we are trying to drive our agenda, we are using students and things like that. So it's really just a lame argument. It holds no water.
One would also like to know that since this memo has been now issued and it's sort of now dictates how societies would then really put their affairs across on campus and how you will engage students. Does it to a certain extent limit societies such as yours as far as putting your message across is concerned?
Yeah, of course it does, because I mean, we in the first place now, because we are a registered society, how do we then maybe carry out our activities? Because we have our own programs and activities for the year. In this case, this memo now prohibits us from hosting any activities. I mean, we want to engage students. We want to host evening discussions on pertinent issues that are affecting students, such as student funding, student accommodation, and things like that. But for now, this memo is prohibiting us from doing so, just because we are aligned to political organizations or political parties. So it has really affected us in that way.
Have you maybe found out if the Student Representative Council was informed before this decision was made?
Yeah, no, I've engaged the president of this the Student Representative Council. She informed me that no, she was also not aware of these developments or this memorandum. What I can say for now, because I don't want to speak on this in behalf of the Student Council, but I'm informed that there are consultations between the Student Council and the university's management, and we are hoping that they update the students very soon about the outcome of their meeting, and with regards now to this particular issue. But of course they are aware, and they are going to discuss now according to them.
So what in your view, as the chairperson of the AR Student Command, what in your view is the best way to manage political activities on campus?
I think for universities to avoid now this so-called using of students and things like that, maybe mechanism should, but of course mechanisms are already there to say, because when you want to host the event, like in our case, you submit an event proposal to say what type of event are you hosting, what activities are you going to carry out there? Who is coming? Maybe you are inviting somebody who is coming. Where are they from and things like that. So procedures are there. I don't think maybe they need to add on those procedures so that maybe now this so-called usage of students and keeping the decorum of the university is well maintained. But I think universities must put mechanisms in place to see to it that we follow those mechanisms and do not violate them in any way.
Yeah. You feel that the university is intimidating and harassing you guys. One would also ask that if you feel that they don't want you there, why would they then have agreed to allow you to register as a society at the university?
Well,
what changed from then to now?
That's also a question that we have to say. Why would you then allow, especially now, these societies that are affiliated or aligned to political organizations, register in the first place, and then later on you issue a memo saying political societies must not carry out their activities. So it's also a question that we are having, and maybe it's a matter of just engaging, if maybe in the near future to engage also with the PVC and maybe hear their side of the story to say what was the rationale of them issuing this memo. Yeah, because it's also not making sense to us.
Maybe just for clarity for the viewers, the event that didn't take place. What was it all about, and what impact did it have now that it didn't take place? In terms of what did it, how did it hamstring you as a command?
Yeah, no, the event was just to officially mark the commencement of the programs and activities of the Affirmative Repositioning Student Command. Just to say that no, for the academic year 2024, we have officially commenced our programs and activities. Of course, we were going to go into our year plan and brief the students to say these are our plans for the year. So it has really affected us in a negative way because we did not get a chance to brief our students on our plans for the year, and we have missed really that opportunity to engage with the students and also for them to submit their inputs. What do they expect from us as a society for this year? So it has affected us in a negative way.
Okay. Mr. Onesmus, we wait for a short break quickly and we'll be back to continue this conversation. But to our viewers, wait for a short break. We'll be right back.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
Oh, welcome back from the short break. Mr. Onesmus, there's an avalanche of issues affecting the lives of students, from student funding, accommodation, safety, a lot of psychological and physical challenges they also face. Can you just maybe give us a summary on how, as a command or as a society, how you guys are dealing with those issues to assist students, and the importance of societies, not just your societies, also other societies on campus that stand for different ideologies, the importance of those societies within the student community?
Yeah, no, because societies act as a voice of the masses of our students. And we as a student command, we have these issues that are affecting students. We are well aware of them. Of course, we are also students in the first place. So we have, like as I said, we were supposed to lay out and present our year plan to our students. For example, there is the issue of student funding through NSFAF. We were supposed to start a conversation just this month to engage the students. What is their views on this non-tuition fees that we receive from NSFAF? To say, because the view that we hold is this, that NSFAF should at least start paying these non-tuition fees to students as early as possible, each and every month, so that students are able to cater for their basic needs, such as food and accommodation and things like that. Because students are really suffering, especially students that are living here in Windhoek. Students have to pay for accommodation, students have to pay for transport to and off campus. So we were going to host that discussion to say, what are the students' views on this particular issue, so that we present them to the relevant stakeholders or authorities, in the case of NSFAF, to see to it that they address these issues as soon as possible. And another issue is this, that there is this issue of rent. Students are renting, especially those that are living in cities like Windhoek here. We took an issue with the Minister of Urban and Rural Development. I think last month we released a statement to say, really, Minister Utoni should table the rent bill to Parliament, so that at least these prices are controlled, because you don't want to have a situation where these landlords are just pricing their prices the way they feel, and then in the end students are suffering. So these are some of the few programs and ideas that we have to say, let us engage with our students. Of course, let us engage with the relevant stakeholders to see to it that some of these issues are addressed.
Of course, the NSFAF issue is a major issue as far as the student lives are concerned. You've mentioned that sometimes students are not being paid on time. Can you just give us a scenario? What are some of the challenges the students face? Maybe fees must be paid by when, but they are not paid. What are some of the issues there?
Yeah, upon engaging, because last year we had a demonstration against this non-tuition fee and all this funding against NSFAF. Now, we went to the office. We had an engagement with them. They said no. At most instances, the problem is not on our side. Apparently, the problem is at institutions, because for NSFAF to process the payments, they must receive invoices from the institutions. So we have learned now that there's a delay at the universities or institutions of higher learning sending invoices to NSFAF. Imagine now invoices will only be sent maybe in June or July, somewhere there. So throughout that time, students are suffering. They don't have taxi money. They don't have money for accommodation. And we really take issue with the universities and really demand for them to speed up the process of sending invoices to NSFAF, so that at least by April, every year, NSFAF will start making these payments, so that it really assists us students with their needs.
Well, there are these issues, but we still see NSFAF dishing out huge refunds to students, and many times people don't understand what is the purpose of these huge refunds.
Well, I don't think it's a huge refund. In fact, we are even saying it's not enough for the students. In fact, we are even calling for NSFAF to increase this non-tuition fee, because I mean, what do you get? Because now they are giving us I think 2.4 per month. What do you really take from a 2.4? Like, especially if you are even renting, you are paying for taxi money and things like that. So it's not really enough. But we do take note that there have been some rumors of money just disappearing there at NSFAF. Maybe that's what we need to address, to say, how are we holding NSFAF accountable? How are we ensuring that every fund that is NSFAF is getting from government is used to cater for the student studies and things like that? But the non-tuition fee is not enough.
Yeah.
In fact, we are calling for them to increase it.
Yeah. But would you say the current student funding model is commensurate? Is it working?
Well, not really. It's not working because students are still. I mean, we are still suffering of this. I think maybe government should reconsider, and they should engage with us as student leaders to find the best option to fund students. Yeah, because this one is really not working. Students are still suffering. I mean, in the case where somebody is applying for a loan, and they get rejected, but they get rejected not really on fundamental grounds to say you don't qualify. Maybe the student is missing certain documents, and it's not their fault that a particular document is missing or things like that. So we should engage. We must have a discussion with the relevant stakeholders to ensure that we find a best funding model for our students in Namibia.
Yeah. So maybe as per your internal discussions and research, what type of model would work that will satisfy the needs of students?
Yeah, I think the type of model that will work is this, that every student, because NSFAF now has this thing of apparently priority courses and things like that. You exclude some students and then you cater for some. I think what should happen is this, that every student at every institution of higher learning should receive funding from NSFAF. And also now these so-called loans, we are demanding, and we have been demanding, that these so-called loans should be turned into grants. We are saying this because we for sure know that the resources of this country are able to cater for every student at every institution of higher learning. I think if we do that, we will achieve, or we will realize best funding model for every student in Namibia.
Yeah. Maybe as you also move forward, you've really touched on mainly students, especially those within the cities and so on. What is the situation like outside campuses, outside Windhoek?
Yeah, it's like, for example, the issue of NSFAF. Like students that have been reaching to us is this, that they are saying NSFAF should decentralize their offices, to say at least you must have an office in the north, you must have an office in the Kavango regions, and things like that, so that students are able to approach the offices and air their views or submit their complaints. Because imagine a student in Oshakati or maybe in Katima is just traveling to Windhoek just to come and inquire over a simple thing. They attempt to call, they don't pick up their calls, they write emails, they don't reply to emails. So those are some of the proposals that students at other towns are submitting to us. And also, they are also of the same view. It's not only that they are not suffering, as I'm saying, students in the city. They also have the rent to pay in towns where they live. They also have taxi money to get to in order to go to schools. So really, there is no diverse views about these issues of funding. I think students are just speaking the same language to say this is the approach that must be that must happen.
Yeah. We often hear that transport is one of the major cost drivers for students, and they also feel that something needs to be done in that regard. As a society, what are you doing for your members as far as engaging with the authorities is concerned? Of course, not just the university, but with municipalities and so on. Yes. What is being done in that regard?
Yeah, I think we wrote a letter just maybe 3 weeks ago. We wrote a letter to the city of Windhoek about that particular issue, to say, look, we have an issue of students that, for example, are staying in an informal settlement. Imagine now a student where the student wakes up at 5 going to school. The student has to walk maybe about 5 kilometers to a bus stop. and it's very risky to wake up in the morning. Those churches might be there and they might rob you and things like that. So we're engaging to say maybe City of Windhoek must provide at least free transport. At least the buses must be allocated to every informal settlement to provide free transport into those deep rural areas, informal settlement for students to and from campuses. It's only through that way, at least we believe, that they were able to assist students in terms of transport. But we are of the view that we implore those corporate companies and relevant stakeholders to come in really, work together with universities and see to it that they assist students in that regard.
Of course, the debate has been going on, just as we wrap up, debate has been going on over the years, the student loans, to be repaid or not to be repaid.
No. We are also of the belief and view that fees must fall and these so-called loans must be turned into grants. We are saying this because I keep repeating to say the resources of this country, if they are utilized fairly and equally, they are able to cater for every student at every institution of higher learning. So we are not supporting this repaying of loans. Instead, we are calling for them to be turned into grants.
Well, Mr. Onesmus, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Yes.
And we wish you well with your work.
Yes, thank you, Tate.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, to our viewers, that's it from the Evening Review team. See you again tomorrow, same time, same place.